paper planes actually. Hey, 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 nothing on my wrist, nothing on my neck, nothing on my fist, it's all on my chest. Don't you get the gist? I got the confidence, don't need a brand on my chest. Hey, I know what my value is. Hey, wealthy people don't need jewelry. Hey, look at 21 Savage and Bill Gates. The rap industry got a complex. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes actually. I'm the opposite of Microsoft, I'm big and hard. Let that resonate, maybe a little more. I got that lyricism sprinkled with a lot of flow. I made my sauce authentic on a chopping board. Baby, it's spicy, be careful. Don't shake the bottle too much, be gentle. It's kinda high on the Scoville level. Don't burn your tongue, don't in your eyes too. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes actually. Self-care, yeah, got a lot of that. No food tastes good as having a six-pack. You should cut your snacks same way you cut that crack. Then you wouldn't look fat as a Cadillac. Baby, looking like a snack. I can see you did them squats on the squat rack. I don't need a beat, I don't really need a track. You can be my producer with your booty clap. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes actually. Baby, keep your pants on, zip tight, locked off. This is not the time for you to rack it up. We be in court, the judge is getting cross. You robbed the bank, baby, you took your mask off. You took 100K and left it at my front door. Thought it was funny, nice joke. Cause you know I bail you out no matter what the cost. I need that flavor, baby, shit, cause I got the sauce. Cause I got the sauce. I said
on that gang shit, on that we don't play shit. Let it spray shit, plus it ain't okay shit. Let it bang shit, let your colors hang shit. On that crazy shit, chopper stick and flame shit. Know you hate shit, know you mad today, bitch. We done made it, off the block we skated. Massachusetts, made its way to New York State. Puzzle Peace gang, we can take this whole country. One block at a time, bricks and halves, quarters, dimes. Flip it one more time, stacking paper, God bless crime. Facts like shit, we dealt with on the real quick. Extra clips, blocks that go to 10. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana.
Yeah, we rep for the street niggas, man. The voice of the streets, the black top. Yeah, the niggas that be on the soil, on the turf out here, boy. You know what I mean? Hey, We got that military shit, nigga. Bullets by the ton. Well, I like you don't know. Let's run it.
I doubt you want some hot lab. Fly in your outfit. Ain't no bringing back the bullet once I let the hammer hit. You never had damage, and I know what you dealing with. Try to fuck hear me, but nigga, I ain't feeling it. These low niggas talking more than what you show. Cause you say just cause the niggas he know. Niggas gang, listen up, check this out.
Fuck you, fuck him, and what you talking about?
I ain't giving a fuck about repercussions. I'm trusting. I'll hit a discussion like bitches, notches. I'll stop you in the middle of your sentence like a car. You look like I'm bugging you. Yeah, with your brains and it tests. It goes for you and anyone to take the test. These suckers is washed up like shells on the shelf. Walk up my gun on the shells and hit the slow. I'm a better bro. I'm in the hole of the gun. Shit is slow, no love. I got me one. This nigga, that's all. Yeah, son. Let's get it. That's all. Nigga, loud damn niggas. Now you son. I'm a real rock. That's sweet to the left. It's too much for me. I ain't got the rhyme. I got things in
Boxes and bullets by the ton.
Look me in my eyes, you can tell that I'm a rider. When it come down to it, nigga, I'ma get all out the side you with these shots. Circle with the gun in these streets.
Niggas play for keeps where I'm from.
You a fuck, and I played around with that bitch shit. I fucked off your rounds, and emptied out real quick. We got a rider ready to ride off time, so when the boy crack off, we never rise on front line, nigga, hand them out. It ain't you got to trust. Some niggas out here really stitching bitch up, homie, wait a minute. That shit ain't gangsta me, man. Tell niggas that they pussy, that they nuts, they got grown ass men with they nuts on top. But gonna be a victim. You are got grown ass men with they nuts on top. But gonna be a victim, nigga. I got me one. This nigga be yeah, so let's get it back. Now we in niggas, but now we sell. I'm a real rock, sweet to the clip. I ain't got the run, I got angry foxy. I'm on the dangerous, like who to play with this. And after slipping little nigga, I stay with this. Ever since the ex on me shot my cousin in the face, I'm riding around with a strap attached to my waist. One in the chamber, ain't no time for cocking. Been on keys up when these things start popping. Goddamn, bust backwards, make it third nap. Your left on the ground and blood, pissing crap. I don't feel no other cause. I'm a shit gutter ties like the mafia guys. Break the coach and mother thighs. I'm making it up, fly into families in my pride. Slick if you ready to die. I still react quick, even though I'm hella high. I ain't looking for another felony. Order serve time to do the right thing. Oh, you know it's yeah, oh my. I got me one. This nigga be let's get it back. Now we sell. I'm a real rock, sweet to the clip. I ain't got the run, I got angry foxy.
Moulin de Gazelle, Concon Ange, il est destiné pour le monde, quoi. C'est qu'on s'arrive, va le faire.
Them bullets fly by, when bullets fly by. What you going through when them bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by. What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? Pop, pop when you hear the Glock. Love style, nigga, cause I'm in your spot. Give it up, nigga, you might get shot. I'm the hot shot, so you gonna get shot. Any nigga out here might feel the pop. My 9mm gonna make you drop. I talk about my 9 cause the shit's so hot. When shit goes down, he's ready to pop. He's stressed out, and I'm trigger happy. I got a taste of life and it feels so nasty. Believe me, this shit ain't easy. I'm a nigga with attitude, so
fuck you pussy.
When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you going through when them bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? Rough like a goose or snitch to the cops. Me, I cock back, let it go for the power. Bullets fly by like a breeze in the summer. Cold dog set, MPLCTE, RIP, and KSP, HOTSHOT. ITSME, yeah, it's me. I let my bullets fly high, shooting at you niggas like kites in the sky. Blue beams, I'm killing this rap shit. So what you gonna do when my bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gonna do when them bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gonna do when them bullets fly by? What you gonna do when them bullets fly by? What you gonna do when them bullets fly by? What you gonna do when them bullets fly by? What you gonna do when them bullets fly by?
Yo, clique caca. Come capane caca, yo.
Everyday niggas talking shit like they tough in this motherfucking street.
Sit your little bitch ass down, man. Please, this kid can't spell ball without the AR. Vote me for mayor. Taking helicopters down with a little laser. Hand in cannon, I'm holding bigger than fucking mega. Yaga, the liquor put the shots to make you stagger. For my little brother, cause like he loves my partners. Real bad boy, brown baby, y'all boxes. With this empire, it's nothing like rocks. These are enemy lines, nobody can cross it. I just said it for rappers and in the battle with triple six. 4 clips like a bitch's wig stick shit. Murder gang sick shit. Got me reading the words of my victim lip syncs. Kitchen sink murders. Niggas know I'm running through the streets of beef. Like the hamburger with the burner. No food surfing. Yeah, still M3G reppin'. Yeah, sitting in the vehicle. Plotting on people. Taking your proud possession like a reaper. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. I'm at the bar ordering a Heineken. Waiting for the street to fall back. I was timing him. Fronting him a couple said he'll check me run 9 and 10. MGK at 1 point. Nigga, we some wild men. Brought together life again. Rifles like the Irishman. Used to come and bench. But Charlie was a rider man. Nigga tried to end me for the money. Call a fireman. I put my fucking flame up. Go ahead and try it then. By all means, do you. I'm creeping through the field shot with Zulu. Cruising in the Subaru. Murder gang crew punch dogs and give them bobos. You lose. Tell you what kind of like 2 shoes. Listen, Junior receives to the highest shooters to whack you. Right now, I'd rather smack you. Don't even attempt, I won't doubt you. Really, I don't have to. Slap the kids so hard, a boy, a wonder, call him Matthew. Subliminal. Murder gang squad in effect. I set it up to win no box. You boy can follow my dialect. My number, you ain't dial yet. That judge ain't fire yet. By the end of this track, I'm motherfucking buying it. That bitch holds gauges and a couple 45s in it. Catch a couple pieces, but I'll beat him if I'm hiding it. In the L spot, nigga known for the kill shot. Cause I'm the nigga that shot Jack and chill out the hilltop. Lil Red Rider Hood was Rider Hood. The song blew her up now. She ain't riding through the hood. And Woody Woodpecker was a fag while Batman got chest and panties up for his pants. Spidey was a swinger. Wolverine is a nigga that's obvious, so they ain't gotta mention that's a spinner. Well, I'm master cheddar in my mouth. My dick more blast for cheddar. Trying to make out is better. Yeah, I'm sitting in the vehicle, plotting on people. Taking your proud possession like a reaper. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot.
Approaching Dixon, solid into both the
Express investigation.
680 traffic watch continues.
What type of investigation?
Reliance Home Comfort. It's Jeff. How can I help you?
Hi, my furnace stopped working. Should I fix or replace it?
Depends on the age of your furnace and what the problem is. We'll get there fast to inspect it. And if it can't be fixed, you can get our featured furnace and pay no interest for 24 months. Plus, ask about our next day or we pay $500 installation guarantee. When you need help fast. Financing OAC. Smart Air 2000 cash price is $5,500. Monthly payment is $259. Conditions apply. See website for details.
This just into 680 News from Japan. Local media is reporting 10 people on board a quarantined cruise ship have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. A source with Japan's health ministry tells Kyoto News the ship has around 3,700 people on board. It's been kept in quarantine off the coast of Yokohama after an 80-year-old passenger from Hong Kong was found to be infected with coronavirus. Stay with 680 News for the latest on this developing story.
You don't buy all
That's the story that just keeps giving.
Suits from the Dollar Mart. Reuse yesterday's coffee. Buy an office that's falling apart. Don't hire an intern as your CEO. Raccoons to clear your trash. Treat clients to a fast food lunch. Use Dial Up to save some cash. You get what you pay for. So be careful what you choose. Use the original HP toner. And you just can't lose. 100% reliable, environmentally responsible. Always trust original HP toner.
We have an update now from North York, where OPP are investigating a fatal crash on the eastbound 401. OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says this crash has shut down the East 401 express lanes from east of the 400 to the Allen.
We're dealing with a single vehicle collision. One male driver has been pronounced dead in hospital. He was transported just minutes ago.
There's no word on when the highway will reopen. This is 680 News. The union representing public elementary school teachers is revealing some details from its closed-door meeting with the province and says the Ford government brought contract talks to a grinding halt just as a deal was about to be reached.
Sam Hammond says a deal was within reach on Friday night, but a few hours before the midnight deadline, something happened.
The government's negotiators changed course and tabled impossible options they knew ETFO could not accept.
Hammond says the Ford government was trying to wreck the talks because the union has the support of Ontario parents. The official response from the Ford government comes from Children's Services Minister Jill Dunlop, who admits no, she was not there at the table.
As a parent and as a member of this government, we are being in good faith.
Hammond says strike action will not escalate again next week. It'll be the same as this week, rotating one-day strikes and a one-day province-wide strike, but he had no comment on what might happen after that. From Queen's Park, I'm Mark Douglas.
Traffic and weather together next.
680 News Time.
Why didn't they tell us on Friday? Why are they telling us today?
I'm here to talk about my new store, McEwen
Tuesday,
Fine
right?
Foods at Yonge and Bloor.
Saturday.
The newest McEwen location
Sunday, Monday,
offers a
just
full
3 days
shopping
gone by, they could have
experience
told us
with a
that.
wide selection of restaurant quality prepared foods. Stop by for fresh produce, specialty ingredients, and do try my house-made recipes. There's 1 hour free parking available, and you can even order ready-made meals online at McEwenCatering.com. We look forward to serving you at One Bloor East.
Some people just glow. What's their secret? It's
Uranium.
not complicated. It's just eating right, exercising, and a skincare routine, including facials. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa has 12 different facials, brightening facials, LED and microdermabrasion, to name a few. Hand and Stone will even customize a facial just for you. Ask your loved one to get you a Hand and Stone gift card for Valentine's Day. Purchase at one of their 31 locations or at handandstone.ca. Get glowing.
651.
Traffic and weather together on the one stop brought to you by the Key Optical and Chopper 680. Here's Jordan Kerr.
So two major issues on the 401, one eastbound, one westbound. The biggest one is eastbound. It's the closure of the express lanes east on the 401 from east of the 400 to the Allen, all because of a fatal crash investigation. Eastbound 401 is jammed from Dixon to east of the 400 in the express, right through to east of Kiel and the collectors. And just to make matters worse, we have a crash in Islington in the express, blocking 2 right lanes in that backup. The last thing you need
If you want to jump off the 401 to take an alternate, definitely advise. It'll be less miserable, although still slow on the alternates. You can jump off the eastbound 401 at Dixon. You can take Dixon east to either Scarlet and take that down to Lawrence, or you can get to St. Phillips and take that north onto Weston, take Weston up to Walsh or up to Shepherd and take those east as an alternate as well. So just drive carefully and give yourself a lot of extra time. Again, no word on when the highway is supposed to be reopened. The collector lanes are open, but they are packed solid. Now, westbound on the 401 at the Allen and the Express, 2 left lanes are blocked off, all because of a crash and rollover. That vehicle that rolled over is still sitting on its side. Crews are on scene, but no police yet. They may be waiting for police, but they are occupied with this eastbound issue. Ambulance and fire trucks are there. The westbound 401 is backed up from Bayview right through to the Allen and the Express, solid, and it's slow to Avenue Road and the collectors. So slightly better in the collector lanes. That's where you want to be. But you might want to take westbound Wilson or Shepherd as an alternate instead. From the 680 Traffic Center, Kyle Hawking.
We just had that minor problem on the southbound DVP south of the 401 clear away. It never really did cause much of a delay. It looks busier, in fact, as you come off the 404 heading for the 401 Rams. But your drive onto the DVP is not too bad. Northbound Don Valley still backed up Don Mills to the 401, and the 404 seeing delays from the 407 to north of 16th Avenue. 400 north is in good shape. Volume left on the 427 north from Rexdale to Finch, and the 410 continues to steadily improve, but volume approaching Clark to Williams Parkway. Westbound Gardner is improving as well. Delays begin at Jarvis to west of Strawn now, and the West QEW is still seeing quite a bit of volume by the Ford plant from Ford Drive to Trafalgar. It's Hakim Optical's big winter sale. All Hakim designer frames and lenses start from only $50 each when you buy 2 pairs. Visit HakimOptical.ca today. Your next report at 7:01, and with the extended forecast, meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
And tonight and tomorrow staying dry, so mainly cloudy tonight down to -7. Last night was 0 degrees, so it is going to be a colder start tomorrow with wind chills near -13. We'll see some sun through the middle of the day, so pack the sunglasses with a high of -2. And then Thursday, lots of extra travel time required pretty much all day long. Starting off with snow in the morning, mixing in ice pellets mid-morning, and then a slight risk of freezing rain, but it looks more and more likely that may stay down towards Niagara. Still going to be some accumulation here, anywhere in the 4 to 8 centimeter range, -2 degrees the high Thursday, and then another few centimeters on Friday, blowing snow. It's of the light, fluffy variety, gusty north winds blowing it around, reduced visibility with a high of -4, and morning wind chills throughout the weekend in the -20s. Tonight we're down to -7 degrees for the low. It is now 1 degree at Pearson.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Bellier Brothers. Bellier Brothers, installing Trane, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. Bellier, experts in heating
Second case of coronavirus in BC.
1908. Visit BellierBrothers.com.
The trust isn't there anymore. It's
Man
over.
stabbed to death in
I know, I
Mississauga.
can hardly believe it myself.
Wait, our travel rewards points are really...
God, Michael. And they're never coming back.
Switch to RBC Avion and earn points that don't expire, so you can use them whenever you want. And right now, start Avioning and get 35,000 welcome points to go anywhere in Canada or the U.S. Alaska and Hawaii require more points. Offer ends February 28, 2020. Conditions apply. Visit rbc.com/Avion35.
The next big traffic reporter superstar is out there.
And we want them on our team.
With the 680 News Junior Traffic Reporter Contest.
And 407 ETR.
If you or someone you know is a student in the GTA with a passion for storytelling, submit an original traffic report for your chance to win a cash prize for you and your school.
Plus, you could be featured as a junior traffic reporter on 680 News.
The 680 News Junior Traffic Reporter Contest.
Brought to you by 407 ETR.
Get all the details at 680news.com/junior.
Coming up at 7, a deadly crash shuts down a portion of the East 401 Express lanes in Toronto, and the latest on the coronavirus, including a cruise ship carrying nearly 4,000 passengers now quarantined off the coast of Japan.
This is 680 News.
Catholic teachers are fighting to preserve one of the best education systems in the world. We want to give every student a chance to succeed. The Ford government is overcrowding classrooms and destroying opportunities for students. We need to stop them before it gets worse. Critical thinking is one of the most important skills we teach. How to separate fact from spin. Don't fall for this government's misinformation. No more. Visit knowmore.ca to help us reverse the cuts. A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
Mighty fine horse you got there.
And she can run forever.
Huh, kind of like one of them TELUS Peace of Mind Connect plans with endless data.
You're telling me it's all giddy up and no woe?
Don't know the meaning of woe.
Endless data on your phone,
All your devices, actually.
Tablets and watches and whatnot?
Yes, sir.
Whoa. Reckon I ought to mosey on over.
Yeah, to TELUS. Or you could visit TELUS.com/peace of mind.
680 News Traffic Alert.
This is Kyle Hawking in the 680 Traffic Center. A major closure on the East 401. All express lanes closed east of the 400 to the Allen for a police investigation. It's jammed from Dixon. The 680 Traffic Watch continues.
Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Richard Southern.
Good evening. A Tuesday rally for stocks. The Dow jumped 407 points to 28,807. S&P was up 1.5%. NASDAQ up 194 points. And here at home, the TSX ahead by 132 points to 17,512. Traders today brushing aside all the worry about the coronavirus. Wolfgang Klein with Canaccord Genuity.
And the market's taking it very well in stride, with the exception of Friday giving back the year gain. This market is showing you the strength and resilience it has. China trade can't stop it. Coronavirus can't stop it. So the trend, my friend, the trend is your friend, my friend. But again, for net new money, it's a bit of a trickier one. I would expect the market to give back 5 to 10% at some point.
On the Toronto market, Bombardier, the best performer, up more than 17% to $1.53 on word that it's going to sell, or it's considering selling, its private jet division. We also had Aurora Cannabis up 6 1/3%, and Air Canada coming back to life, up 3.8% to $46.51 per share. Tesla stock continued to rally, up another more than 13% today to $887.06. After the bell, it was Walt Disney reporting better than expected earnings. Revenue at $20.86 billion, and its streaming service Disney Plus now with 26.5 million subscribers. KFC, meantime, planning to expand its plant-based Beyond Meat fried chicken test. This was very successful when it last tried it, including at a restaurant it had in Mississauga. Now it's going to be at 70 other locations throughout the United States.
People will revolt and burn down the restaurant.
Looks a bit like a fried chicken nugget, though it is all plant-based. Beyond Meat shares up more than 4% today. Canadian dollar 75.3 cents US. This is 680 News.
Visit Casino Ajax every Thursday in February for a chance to play Deal Breaker and win up to $10,000 cash. Hungry? We have daily dining specials from 4 to 11 p.m. at spectacular prices, including prime rib and 2 lobster tails on Thursdays and Fridays for only $14.99. Must be 19 plus and a Winner's Circle Rewards member. If you gamble, play smart.
Casino Ajax. License 10587.
You're approved, and you're approved, and you're approved for first, second, or third equity-only home mortgages despite your income. Credit, even if in power of sale. Simply apply in just 3 minutes anytime at savers.ca. That's S-A-V like Victor, E-R-S.ca.
Count on Savers Mortgage for the 31983. The problem solvers.
That's 416-493-1983 or apply anytime at savers.ca.
In downtown Toronto, partly cloudy and a wind chill reading of -3. The Newswatch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. It's 7 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are James Monroe and Slijana Tominzik.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, February 4th.
Here's what's making news right now.
With breaking news from the roads, a single vehicle crash has left 1 man dead. Eastbound 401 express lanes closed from east of the 400 to the Allen for the investigation.
A BC woman is being treated for coronavirus, becoming the 5th case in Canada.
5.
Health officials just don't know how she caught it.
And a special weather statement is out for a mess on the way in the GTA starting tomorrow night. Full traffic and weather in seconds.
We'll have an update on Frederick Anderson's injury as Raptors forward Pascal Siakam will be a busy man at All-Star Weekend. Sports at 15.
We're spending more on travel, but going to some really off-the-beaten-path places. We're taking a look. TSX travels higher, up more than 100 points. Tesla rallies again. This visit 26.
680 News Time, 7:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Kyle.
This report brought to you by Marquee Jewelers. An extremely poor drive on the eastbound 401 and for a stretch the westbound 401 because of another issue. We've got two problems here. So the east 401 is, of course, seeing this express lane closure from east of the 400 to the Allen. As you've been hearing, it's all for a police investigation. So all express lane traffic is forced into the collectors east of the 400, and that is causing a major jam up. It's busy from Dixon to east of the 400 in the express and to east of Kiel in the collectors. Busy is just not a strong enough word. It is jam-packed. There's an alternate to get around this. A few of them available. The best one appears to be to exit the East 401 at Dixon, travel over where it turns into Scarlet Road, and then you'll head to Lawrence. And then if it makes more sense for you to stay south of the 401, just continue taking Lawrence as far east as you like. Or you can hop onto Weston, take that up to either Wilson or Shepherd, and then take those east to travel along the north side of the 401. And that will, again, get you around this delay. Don't stay on the 401, though. It's just not worth it. If you're on the westbound 401, vehicle rollover still at the Allen in the express. We have two left lanes blocked by crews, and we're dealing with delays approaching this from Bayview to Avenue Road in the collectors all the way to the Allen in the express where the problem is. And then it looks like we may have a problem on the West 401 approaching Mississauga Road. I'm seeing a delay here, Huron-Ontario to approaching Mississauga Road. Looks heavier than it should be. So if you could provide an update, star 680 on your cell phone. By contrast, the rest of the major routes, not bad. Volume in general is easing. Minor issue now, North Don Valley approaching Eglinton. Left lane's blocked with a stalled vehicle. It's busy through here. Don Mills up to the 401. Find your perfect gift for your Valentine at Marquee Jewelers Retirement Sale. Get 40 to 70% off all fine jewelry. Visit 2 Bloor Street West inside the Cumberland Terrace now. Your next report at 7:11, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
-7 for the overnight low. Morning wind chills near -13, so dress for that. And it is going to be cooler, although seasonal at -200, partly cloudy skies. Now, Wednesday overnight, starting around 2 or 3 in the morning on Thursdays when our snowfall is expected to start from our big Texas low. This will be heavy at times through the Thursday morning commute. Leave lots of extra travel time all day on Thursday because we'll also mix in some ice pellets at times. Total snow and ice pellet accumulation 4 to 10 centimeters, and gusty northeast winds making it feel cooler, the actual high -2. Still some light snow Thursday night and continuing through Friday. Another few centimeters of accumulation. Blowing snow going to be an issue with a high of -4, wind chill -12. That wind chill by Saturday morning back to -24. Tonight we're down to a low of -7 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, we have a partly cloudy sky, a wind chill reading of -3. 680
-24.
We have breaking news from North York. The eastbound 401 express lanes remain shut down from east of the 400 to the Allen while the OPP investigate a fatal single vehicle crash.
OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says one man was rushed to hospital where he died.
We have our collision reconstruction team on their way to the scene to assist with the investigation. Members of the Toronto detachment are on scene already.
No word from police on the cause of this crash just yet. With a look at how the closure is affecting the commute home, we're going to go back to the 680 Traffic Center and check in with Kyle Hawking. Kyle.
Yes, so Jenna, I would certainly advise avoiding the East 401 between Dixon and the Allen because it is just barely moving as you approach this closure. You can exit the East 401 at Dixon, and then it's easy, sort of easy to get around this. Just travel east along Dixon. It turns into Scarlet Road for a short stretch, which then runs into Lawrence. So then you can take Lawrence east. Bunches up a bit between Black Creek and Kiel, but it's way better than the 401, that's for sure. Or when you get onto Scarlet Road and travel onto Lawrence, you'll hit Weston Road. You can take that north up towards Wilson, Shepherd, Finch, as far north as you like, and then any of those east alternates are in much better shape than the 401. From the 680 Traffic Center, I'm Kyle Hawking.
This is 680 News. BC health officials tonight say they've identified another case of coronavirus. This as the number of those who have died in China climbs again. There are now more than 24,000 confirmed cases globally, almost all in China. 680's Karen Seolan joins us live with the latest. Karen.
James, a Vancouver woman in her 50s, is being treated in hospital for the new coronavirus. Public health officials are now just trying to figure out how she caught it. The woman had been with visitors from China's Hubei province where the disease was first detected, but BC's top doctor, Bonnie Henry, isn't saying if it was transmitted human to human.
This person was just identified quite late yesterday. Well, the test came back positive quite late yesterday, so Vancouver Coastal is doing the detailed investigations today.
The visiting family members are still here in Canada, and Henry says they're also being tested. Now, news of Canada's possible 5th case of coronavirus comes as Japanese authorities race to contain an outbreak on a cruise ship not far from Japan's capital. We're just getting word tonight 10 people on that ship have now tested positive positive for the virus. Several passengers had reported feeling ill, forcing authorities to quarantine the vessel, locking down thousands on board. Reporting live, I'm Karen Seolin.
This is 680 News. The 28-year-old Vaughan man who's been charged after a coronavirus hoax on a plane is speaking out, saying he did it for the publicity. 680's Michelle Mackey joins us live with that. Michelle.
So, Jana, the flight left Pearson at 10 a.m. and was halfway to Montego Bay when James Potok says he stood up and announced,
"Please can I have all your attention? I just came back from Hunan province, the capital of the coronavirus, ... I'm not feeling too well."
He did it for an Instagram video and admits nobody thought it was funny.
About 15 minutes later, all the airline staff were wearing masks. They asked me to come to the back of the plane, so they put me in somewhat of a quarantine, made me wear gloves.
That's when the flight turned back to Toronto Pearson. 2 other flights were canceled because of the incident, and Peel police have charged Potok with mischief. He'll be in court in March. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Mackey.
Meanwhile, the federal government has told Canadians looking to flee Wuhan due to the virus outbreak that a plane is expected to leave on Thursday, but not everyone is guaranteed a seat.
A plane is now en route to Vietnam, where it will hold until final approvals are given to land in Wuhan,
You said it was in
China.
Vietnam
Fans
yesterday.
have told citizens to be ready to go Thursday morning, but there are several restrictions from Chinese authorities that could split up families or leave some stuck in the epicenter. If they show any symptoms, they won't be allowed to board. And Foreign Affairs Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne says the evacuation is limited to citizens and caregivers of Canadian children.
But I will continue to advocate that, obviously, for every Canadian.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau adds that 304 Canadians requesting help is more than the plane can hold, which is why they've chartered a second flight.
So we'll make a decision based on how full the plane is when we come back, whether or not we exercise the option of the second plane.
When they arrive back in Canada, passengers will be quarantined at CFB Trenton for 2 weeks. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Get ready for a possibly messy drive on Thursday morning in the city and in parts of the GTA. Environment Canada is out with a special weather statement calling for a mixed cocktail of snow, freezing rain, and ice pellets. Our meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai says the snow will start falling tomorrow night, up to a centimeter expected per hour during the drive in the morning.
Snowplows are going to have to try to keep up with those snowfall amounts, and we've got wind, which is going to be blowing it around through the morning, so visibility is going to be reduced as well. Expect a very slow go traffic-wise on Thursday morning.
Natasha expects the drive will be the worst between 7 and 11 a.m.
Coming up in 30 seconds, news you can use from the pumps.
This is 680 News.
You're listening to Toronto's 680 News.
Max here, professional dream coach, letting everyone at Bob's Deli know that Lotto Max now has draws Tuesdays and Fridays. Edgar, what are you eating?
The Tuesday special.
And what would you get if you won Tuesday's Lotto Max jackpot of an estimated $32 million?
The same thing, but on my own beach.
Keep going. I'd fly everyone to my beach, and my personal chef will make us whatever we want. Yes! I'll dream what he's dreaming. Tuesday's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $32 million. With draws Tuesdays and Fridays, you can dream to the max.
Now, 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will drop a cent at midnight to $1.08.9 a liter. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll update the closure of the eastbound 401 express lanes from east of the 400s to the Allen.
680 News Time, 7:10.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Want some free money? Transfer an RRSP or TFSA to Meridian before March 2nd, and you can get a 1% cash bonus. Real, genuine, free money. Visit meridiancu.ca to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Your kitchen, it's your coffee shop, your family diner, your romantic bistro, and your wine bar. At Tasco Appliances, we understand the many roles your kitchen plays and the contribution that each appliance makes to it. Do your kitchen a favor and don't make an investment until you talk to a knowledgeable Tasco Pro. Right now, save up to 35% when you purchase select appliances from Monogram.
Come say hello, Tasco Pro at Tasco.
Visit TascoAppliance.ca.
Go Transit expansion is happening across our region. From February 18th to 29th, Metrolinx is holding community open houses for new rail projects. To learn more and have your say, visit MetrolinxEngage.com. Metrolinx. It's happening.
680 News Time, 7-11.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Kalagi.
This report brought to you by 407 ETR. Major problems on the East 401, and there's a big issue on the West 401 as well. First of all, the top story on the East 401, if you want to put it that way, is the closure of the express lanes from east to the 400 to the Allen because of a police investigation. And as you're heading towards this closure, we also have a crash at Islington in the express. 2 right lanes are blocked here because of that. Very heavy traffic through this whole area, though, from Dixon, beyond the Islington issue, to east to the 400, where all that express lane traffic is being forced into the collectors. Collectors then continue basically to east of Kiel. It's just jammed through this area, and you will certainly want to consider an alternate if you are traveling on the East 401. You can go as far as Dixon before you hit the heavy traffic, so just exit there. Use Dixon to get east over to where it meets Scarlet Road and then turns south down to Lawrence. You can either use Lawrence then just to get east, bunches up a little bit on the approach to Kiel, but that's the only major delay. Or you can just travel east on Lawrence till it hits Weston or Jane or Kiel or any of the north-south alternates, and then just travel north up to Wilson or Shepherd or Finch and use any of those. All are in way better shape than the East 401. The problem on the West 401 is that the Allen in the Express, a vehicle rollover still blocking 2 left lanes, delays approaching Bayview to Avenue Road collectors and all the way to the Allen in the Express. And we've still got volume in Mississauga, here Ontario collectors to west of Mavis. DVP northbound issue approaching Eglinton has cleared. It's backed up off and on now Don Mills up to York Mills. And the westbound Gardner still seeing delays Spadina to west of Strawn. This year, 407 ETR is adding 30 kilometers of new lanes to keep up with increasing traffic and keep your commutes fast, safe, and reliable. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report at 7:21, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Temperatures tonight down to -7. That's about 7 degrees colder than this morning, so take that in mind. Throw on an extra layer. We're also waking up to wind chills of -13. It's cloudy tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, so that means a bit of sunshine with a high of -2. But tomorrow night after midnight, we're into some light snow. It'll get heavier into the Thursday morning commute, so you're going to need lots of extra travel time. Call ahead for flights. Some of that snow mixing with ice pellets midday. And we've got about 4 to 6, even up to 8 centimeters in some spots. The 8 is kind of pushing it, though. A high of -2, wind chill -8. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of -7 degrees.
Downtown Toronto, partly cloudy and a wind chill reading of -3. 680 News Time, 7:13.
Should have bought this last week. Another day, another record for Tesla shares.
Well, the numbers are quite staggering. Tesla stock is up almost 40% over the past 3 days. It's up 275% since last July. It closed today above $887 the share. Investors and analysts are becoming more optimistic about this company. Last Wednesday, Tesla posted its first annual profit in its 10 years as a public company. Still, many see the huge uptick for this stock as being just completely out of whack with fundamentals. Many say the unstoppable enthusiasm reminds them of the Bitcoin bubble a few years ago, or the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s. Would you believe Tesla on a market cap basis is now worth double the combined values of General Motors and Ford? I'm Richard Southern.
This is 680 News.
I wasn't expecting to be diagnosed with cancer.
To take my child to emergency.
To have to put dad in long-term care.
Federal court dismisses First Nations challenges to TMX pipeline project. That's Trans Mountain expansion or whatever. The Federal Court of Appeals says the government's decision to approve the Trans Mountain pipeline expansion a second time is reasonable and will stand. In a unanimous 3-0 decision today, the court dismissed 4 challenges to that approval launched last summer by First Nations in British Columbia. The First Nations argued at a hearing in December the government went into consultations with Indigenous communities in the fall of 2018, having predetermined the outcome in favor of building the project. Yeah, they had paperwork stating that. But the 3 judges who decided the case say Cabinet's second round of consultations with First Nations affected by the pipeline was, quote, anything but a rubber stamping exercise. The judges say the government made a, quote, genuine effort to listen to and consider the concerns raised by the First Nations and introduce new conditions to mitigate them. The expansion project would triple the capacity of the existing pipeline between Edmonton and a shipping terminal in Burnaby, BC. It has become a political football for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as he insists Canada can continue to expand oil production and still meet its commitments to cut greenhouse gas emissions. Why are we selling oil when we import oil? That doesn't make any sense. And the reasoning behind expanding this pipeline is that there's not enough capacity for the price to stay high enough for them to make money selling oil. It's like a $30 price. It's like half the price for a barrel of Canadian oil. That's the only business I've ever heard of where you restrict the supply and the price goes down. I've never heard of that in any other business. They've been putting that story out for years, and I've never understood it. Trudeau's government stepped up to buy the existing pipeline in 2018 after political opposition to the project from the BC government, not the people, the government, caused Kinder Morgan Canada to pull out from building the expansion. They said they were going to. And Trudeau spent $4.5 billion, and it's only a $500 million pipeline, and it's not built yet. The expansion's not built yet. The government intends to finish the expansion and then sell both the existing pipeline and the expansion back to the private sector, because they'll just pay 10 times the price for no reason every time, right? It has been in talks with some Indigenous communities about the sale, but Finance Minister Bill Morneau has said the project won't be sold until all the risks to proceeding are eliminated. Those risks included this court case. Notice how it should be like Environment Canada or Department of Northern Affairs, Department of Indian Northern Affairs Canada or something should be handling this. No, it's the Finance Minister. The fuck is the Finance Minister involved in this? They're not selling it yet. They're trying to sell it before they've built it. Man stabbed to death in Mississauga. One person believed to be a young man is dead after a stabbing in Mississauga. Around 2 a.m. on Tuesday, a passerby spotted a man lying in the roadway on Sebastian Drive near Eglinton Avenue West and Winston Churchill Boulevard and called police. When police arrived, they found the man with stab wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Residents reported seeing two males involved in some type of altercation and the victim collapsing to the ground. The other male then ran off, according to the reports. It is not yet known if the victim lived in the area. So far, there's been no arrest or any description released of a suspect or suspect vehicle.
When the government negotiators suddenly brought in, quote, impossible options, unquote, just a few hours before the midnight deadline. He accuses the government of deliberate chaos to ruin those talks.
Ford and his minister know that the public is supporting educators who are advocating for their students and trying to stop the government's cuts.
The Ford government response to all this comes not from Education Minister Stephen Lecce, but from Children's Services Minister Jill Dunlop.
I'm not at the table, but I can tell you that as government, we're working with the unions to come to a deal.
Hammond says the elementary teachers' strike action will remain the same next week as this week. He would not comment beyond that. From Queen's Park, I'm Mark Douglas.
In Washington tonight, U.S. President Trump set to deliver his State of the Union. The president will speak in the Senate chamber, which tomorrow will host a vote all but certain to acquit him of impeachment charges. At the 1999 State of the Union, President Clinton did not mention his own impeachment. Trump spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham tells Fox the president shouldn't either. But
he is nothing if not combative.
Tufts political scientist Jeffrey Berry says the president's accusers will be in the same room.
He's not going to go the whole speech without deriding this as a hoax.
Officials here say the president will unleash relentless optimism, focusing on what he's done for the nation and will do if given another 4 years. Sagar Mangani at the White House. Traffic and weather together next. This is 680 News.
Everyone is talking about the hit musical sensation Come From Away. It's a true story. Thousands of people stranded in a small town in Newfoundland on 9/11, and the locals, they opened up their homes. What happened that week? The kindness, the resilience, the joy reminds us all what it is to be human. Come From Away. Now in its second smash year in Toronto. Get tickets at Mirvish.com.
Auf Wiedersehen, arrivederci, ciao, adios. No matter where in the world you or your customers are, you can say goodbye to boundaries thanks to Adyen, the payments platform that supports payments across the globe. From New York to Shanghai, from Singapore to Sao Paulo, reach more customers in more places with Adyen, the payments platform of choice for the world's leading companies. Adyen, business, not boundaries. Learn more at adyen.com. That's ADYEN.com.
680 News Time, 721.
Traffic and weather together, Lawrence Kavaki.
This report brought to you by Sportsnet. We have major problems on the east and westbound 401, but if you're anywhere else, it's a light drive for you for the most part. Eastbound 401, a full closure of all express lanes from east of the 400 to the Allen for a collision police investigation. And we have on the approach to the closure at Islington in the express, still 2 right lanes blocked with a separate crash. So crews are on scene there. As you approach this closure of the express lanes, though, it's busy from Dixon past the Islington problem to east of the 400 Express, where all express lane traffic's forced into the collectors. Collector lanes then continue busy to east of Kiel, and it is just solid as you travel towards this area. So it is best to plan an alternate to the eastbound 401. Don't even bother with it. Don't even consider using it until they reopen the express lanes because it's just barely moving. Exit the East 401 at Dixon Road, which travels over towards Scarlet Road. You turn south to Lawrence. Then you can use Lawrence to get eastbound. Or traffic spotter called to update the fact that Wilson, which is just north of the 401 and really not a far distance to travel off the 401 at all, Wilson is wide open right now. It's just fine as an alternate to this closure. So that is probably your best choice if you can get to it. The problem on the west 401 is approaching, in fact, right at the Allen in the Express. 2 left lanes are still blocked with a vehicle rollover. It is still sitting on its side here. Emergency crews are on scene, tow trucks as well. Heavy approaching Bayview to Avenue Road collectors right to the Allen in the Express where the problem is. And then past that, a bit of volume through Cure, Ontario and the collectors. Westbound Gardner now fine out of downtown. Eastbound Gardner's still slow approaching Spadina to Cherry. We've got the South DVP moving well towards the city, but north Don Valley volume approaching Don Mills to York Mills. Tim and Sid are also on the radio. Listen live weekday afternoons from 5 to 7 on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Your next report at 7:31, and with the extended forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
Mainly cloudy but dry tonight, down to -7. That morning wind chill around -13. It's going to be a partly cloudy Wednesday, so some sunshine in there. -2 degrees the high. Enjoy that sun. We probably won't see it again until Sunday. And then we've also got snow to deal with Thursday morning. Heavy at times through the commute, mixing in ice pellets through the middle of the day. Slight risk for freezing rain. It's going to be a little bit of a mess here on Thursday. Lots of travel delays. Call ahead for flights if you have any planned, and -2 degrees the high. Looks like still some light snow overnight Thursday into Friday. Blowing snow as well on Friday with a gusty north wind. Another few centimeters of accumulation possible with a high of -4, and wind chills for both weekend mornings back to the -20s. Tonight we're down to a low of -7 degrees, wind chill -13 by morning.
When you're telling us it's going to be -20, you can tell us 4 days in advance.
Coming up bottom of the hour, breaking news from North York. Eastbound 401 express lanes remain shut down from east to the 400 to the Allen. The OPP investigating a fatal single vehicle crash. The latest straight ahead.
This is 680 News.
Find the candidate that fits. Matsis Staffing and Consulting is a professional staffing and solutions firm offering the best in innovative and creative professional service needs. With 12,000 candidates in their system, Matsis has the right person to fit your needs, environment, and culture.
What the fuck's going on here?